let them go for a walk. It's too condensed on TV.
Plenty coming up in the next couple hours. But before we get into that, let's dive in deeper to the matchup tonight against the Boston Bruins.
Yeah.
We mentioned the Bruins probably in better shape in net going into tonight. I got to argue that they're in better shape up front too.
Think so?
Yeah. I think right now.
Is that commentary on the Bruins or the Leafs?
Bruins.
On the Bruins. Just you like the way they're.
I think their first two lines and the consistency that they're now getting than what's coming out of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
And let's throw to our first Kypers Clippers on Sheldon Keefe discussing his second line.
Well, like right now it's high on the list for sure. It has been throughout the season at times very good for us, so we're confident in that we can get it to that point. At the same time, as we mix things up here, maybe something else comes to light that we like. We have gone at different times in the last while, where we've kind of put John and Will on different lines. As you guys know, we've done that and wanted to get a look at that and sort of shifted back. But here we are again, and it's another look at that. We'll see what comes of it. Either we find some good chemistry here that really works. If we can get three lines really going, then all the better. Four would be best. That's really what our goal is. I think when we look at it, we played Florida, the other night, Boston here tonight, and I think those are kind of the hallmarks of the top teams, is that they've got four lines that can really go.
You know what I got out of that?
No.
I'm out of ideas. I'm out of ideas. It could
We've tried
work.
nothing, and we're all out of ideas.
It could work. It could not work.
Yeah, but it's ridiculous to me that you're right, that we're having this conversation when the top line's the same and you're going back to John and Willie. You're running out of runway if you do want to experiment. We talked about some lines before the show. Some of them, potential ideas, could include Mitch Marner at center, or could include Blackwell getting a bit more run. Something like, you like Mikheyev, Tavares, Mikheyev, Tavares, Engvall you liked, Sammy?
Yeah. I like anything except what they've been doing, with the second and fourth line, basically.
Yeah.
I love the first line, obviously. How can you not? It's been unbelievable.
Yes.
But it's time to, like we've been saying, rob Peter to play Paul here.
Yeah.
You gotta mix it up. And he is splitting them up again tonight with Nylander and Tavares. Nylander's going down to the third line. It's Mikheyev,
right,
Kerfoot, Tavares. But it's just kind of more the same.
Kind of the same.
Like I don't
shape.
necessarily need to see Kerfoot still in the top six. Like I really, to me, in these last however many games are left here, it really seems like a chance to me to just throw this baby into the blender and see what you can do, including the top line, getting ready heading into the playoffs.
You got almost $20 million between Nylander and Tavares. They have to be on the second line. They have to be. When it's all said and done and we're starting game one or game two, they have to be down there.
They have to be in the top six.
They have to be in the top six for the Leafs to have any real success.
Right.
But in saying that, where do you look at Tavares and Nylander now?
Mm-hmm.
Who's to blame more?
Yeah.
Is Nylander pulling down Tavares, or is it the other way around?
Well, this is something that that came out of our show discussion yesterday when we talked about Willie. Is the guy when Nylander's making 7, when Tavares is making 11, Tavares is the center. At some point, you would like Tavares to be able to power a line. That's part of the plan here, is that he's going to be good enough to, and we've been talking about solutions for how to get Tavares going. I know he scored twice last game. He scored twice on the power play off Marner dishes.
But that's not Tavares on the power play.
Different animal.
6 feet from the net.
Yeah.
Still looks as good as he ever did coming out of Oshawa or London, out of junior hockey. We know he's good at that. He's great
world
at
class
that.
from 10 feet in.
World class.
But he's not moving his feet. Right? It's hands, it's IQ.
Yeah.
But it's the stuff in between that.
And so this is a major problem, is when we talk about the second line falling behind. Is Tavares, has he lost enough of a step? Can we conclude that he's lost enough of a step that he can't power a line anymore? I'm not ready to make that conclusion. I think, given some more, I think he could use a little time off, maybe rest his legs a little bit. I think heading into playoffs, if he looks like he's looked for the last little bit, which I know he's getting some points, it's just not going to be good enough for them.
Has the game sped up 3 or 5% more in the last 18 months, and has he dropped 3 or 5%?
Yeah.
And that it's a valid point. When you have Marner and Matthews out there is a pace of play that is off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a significant drop off.
Yeah.
When they go to Tavares at the number 2 hole.
But
yeah,
I think I've talked to you guys about this before. Maybe I haven't mentioned this. I've talked about it with other people on other shows before I started doing this.
You got another show? You're moonlighting on us?
No, before I started doing this show. And I used to host here and there. I just think that the Matthews-Marner combo is so elite and so devastating and so amazing to watch. I think whoever comes over the boards next, pretty much no matter what, is going to look a little bit lackluster.
But also, Sammy, they should be playing a lesser quality of competition, and that should help them out.
But I'm just saying that if you're measuring what Tavares brings against Matthews and Marner, you're going to be severely disappointed. No?
Yeah, it's a high measuring stick, but he is paid like them.
Correct.
So yeah, I think it's fair to expect somewhere in that ballpark. Just, he's played a couple of playoff series with the Leafs. Obviously last year didn't have the chance to do it. But in the games prior to that, he was well below. He was 8 points in 13 games with the Leafs in the postseason. I'm just saying they're going to need Tavares if they're going to get through. They're going to need him. He's going to have a series for them.
100%.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
And the difference right now, and you can argue that the Boston Bruins over the last few years have been pushed hard with Marchand, Bergeron, and Pasternak.
Mm-hmm.
We heard it. One-line team the last few years.
Yeah.
And I don't know when it happened, maybe January or February, the decision to take Pasternak off of Marchand and Bergeron. It's
allowed.
That's what's changed the Boston
You
Bruins.
can do it.
Yeah.
That's what's changed the Boston Bruins.
It has. It's given life to their second line.
They have 2 good lines right now.
Holla, and Pasta.
And Pasternak finds a way to score a hat trick without playing with Marchand and Bergeron. You don't hear him whine, complain. He doesn't sulk.
Pasternak's the best, man.
The lip isn't dragging on the floor.
And
now,
in fairness, we're not saying anyone on Toronto has done that because no one's been asked to.
So tonight the Leafs will see Hall and Pasternak as the second unit, and DeBrusk, Bergeron, and Marchand. That is, and if you want to go even deeper, that Coyle, Smith, and Frederick line.
Frederick plays third line, eh?
Yes.
Plays real minutes.
Is like their house is a lot more in order right now with their 12 forwards than the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I know they've been good. I don't love that line. I
think that would be an awesome matchup between the Leafs third line and that third line. I think there's potential for that to be really good.
Yeah, the Leafs third line's awesome. I mean, they've been really
legitimately
good. Their fourth line as of tonight, Kyper, I believe, is Nick Foligno, Thomas Nosek, and Curtis Lazar.
Yes.
Pretty good 4.
It is.
Or pretty good 3.
But you can also argue that you're paying almost $4 million a year for Nick Foligno on the fourth line. That was a bit of it's a bit of a miss by the Boston Bruins.
2 more years after this, too.
I think they can live with it right now.
Yeah. Well, the way they're humming along, for sure.
And the problem now is with the Leafs' questionable second line, the heat's on Tavares, but there's also the heat on Willie Nylander, and he spoke about it. And just listen to Nylander talk about his struggles here.
Obviously, it's something that I don't like, obviously, and it's a shitty feeling. But I don't know. It's certain situations where the puck just finds its way in. And I mean, for example, there are a couple of ones like maybe in Montreal where I could have that guy and avoid that being a goal. But I mean, it's just been happening in some weird ways sometimes, and then obviously maybe like a couple times like the one not as bad as the one in Montreal, but a few like that.
See, he was great with the curse word. Oops. He just needed to stop there. Okay?
On
the Real Kyper and Bourne show, you can Hear real language.
I was supposed to blank that
No,
one.
no, 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 no. You weren't supposed to. Okay? You weren't supposed to because at least we got to hear real passion from him in terms of the frustration. There is frustration in him.
Sure. You can talk about.
At least it's a start.
Yeah, but I mean, I've been in a relationship with someone for 13 years with my fiance Allie, and it's, you talk about, hey, talk is cheap. How many times have I heard that over 13 years? Show me with your actions. You can say all the things you want to say.
Hold on, is he
Sammy
talking?
having trouble at home?
No.
Is he talking about commitment? And he just said 13
No.
years.
Just
and
like
not
in terms of doing things, in terms of, oh yeah, I'm gonna do the laundry more, or I'm gonna cook dinner more, whatever. And you say, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. It's a crappy feeling. I take accountability. Talk is cheap, man.
My junior coach used to say, talk is cheap, whiskey costs money. Get out there.
He did kind of try to talk himself out of why, though, towards the end of his comments.
He couched it. He couched it.
That was absolute word salad.
Gobbledygook.
Towards the end, the guy, and then the one time, but the other way. All right, well, we get it.
But